Hey there, Nathan Polkowski with GPS Dairy Consulting here in Michigan, and I'm here today to talk to you about forage quality. And I thought it was a great time to start talking about haylage, as in 30 days or so, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, we're going to be taking off our first cutting haylage. So there was a few things that I wanted to discuss. First, talk a little bit about forage quality and what that means to you on your farm, your operation, and then discuss the top 3 things that I talk with producers before they're taking off haylage and while they're taking off haylage. And so let's first talk about forage quality and what that means to you on your farm. You know, it really means different things to different producers, different nutritionists, and certain people are gonna evaluate it different than maybe I do or one of my colleagues does, or for that matter, maybe even some of my producers. But I'm looking at relative feed quality as a metric to give me a guideline on what that forage looks like and what it's feeding out and you know, I'm targeting 175 to 185 at feed out for high quality milk cow feed. But that might not be the right metric for every producer. I mean, maybe you're looking to grow heifer feed, so you need a lot lower quality than that. Maybe you have, the way your diets are set up, that quality is just going to be too rich for you. So there's a lot of things to consider here, and the point is that we have a goal, that we have a strategy, and we understand what we're taking, why we're taking, and what we're going for. And then next, my top 3 points, or gold standards, I guess, on taking off haylage. And that's first, understanding when we're going to cut it and harvest it. Second is dry matter, and third is pile maintenance or management. And so I'll start with when we're going to cut it and determining when we should cut it. And so that's easier said than done. You know, if I had the exact answer of we're going to take it off at this day at this time and this is how we're going to do it, boy, that would be fantastic. But you know, it's a little bit of some trial and error in the beginning and understanding what your fields look like, you know, and taking heights of the crop, and then also doing some scissor cutting and understanding what the relative feed quality is testing in the field, and then knowing that, okay, we're going to probably lose 10 to 15 points from harvest to feed out. And so if I'm targeting that 175 to 185, I might recommend taking at 190 to 200, you know, or maybe we're going to go on height of the crop. Probably going to use both, but you know, the height of the crop might be, you know, I don't know, 24 to 26 inches on first cutting. You know, 24 for conventional, 26 for Harv Extra. And I know I got some of your attention was saying that number, and it could be different for your farm. You may have to take it a little bit later than that, based on your system, based on what you've seen in your fields and what works best for you. So understanding the strategy behind that and how you're going to make your decision is important. Second is dry matter, and we give a range from 38 to 45% dry matter, and you know, my target is 40. If I can get my bunk to look 40% across the whole face, then that's perfect in my opinion. You get down past that 38 dry matter, and it puts you in that danger zone of butyric haylage, and this could be a nightmare. I mean, it's going to cause you gut health issues, feed intake issues, overall performance issues. So we want to try to avoid that wet haylage, and you know, so it's important that we understand what the haylage is going into the bunk at by taking costers, testers, and getting dry matters, and also identifying wet loads that are coming in. And what do you do with wet loads on your farm? My recommendation or advice is to set them off to the side and feed them right away, so that we don't have them spread throughout the bunk and we have these little butyric layers in the bunk. So that brings me to my final point, which is pile maintenance or management. And you know, I want to see those piles being rounded nice and round with about an 18 to 20-degree slope, and packed well. And so on packing, I use the 800 rule, which you take your total tractor weight and you divide it by 800, and that'll give you your wet tons per hour. So from there you can make a decision on whether you need, more weight on the pile. So you've made your pile, or you're shaping your pile, and you're packing it, and you got the right amount of weight on the pile, and you're getting towards the end. And now it's important to make sure that you've got your crew, your covering crew, right behind your harvest or packing crew to come in and cover that pile right away with an oxygen barrier and a plastic. And right behind them, we need to have another crew that's putting tires on to get this plastic weighted down. Important to remember that we want to have tires touching end to end, which brings me back to a point that I made just a little bit ago on the slope of the pile. So what would happen if we had a really steep slope on that pile? Those tires would slide down and would cause us issue with our bunker plastic, right? So with that, that's all I had today. I really appreciate your time to take to viewing this video, and I want to wish you all the very best in taking off your first cut this year. Thanks, and have a great day.